afternoon, everyone. Today is Monday of the 18th week in Ordinary Time. It's also the optional memorial of St. Peter Julian Eymard. I don't know if you know about St. Peter Julian, but what a lover of the Eucharist. What a lover of the Eucharist. And, you know, as Catholics, we have a love for the sacraments. We have a love for the Eucharist. We have a reverence for Holy Communion. Absolutely. But when you come across people like St. Peter Julian Eymard, not only a love and a reverence, but a promoter, someone who diligently works to allow that whole mystical experience come alive as he talks to his people. So maybe for many of us, faith is personal. You know, I don't go around and a sign going, you know, but many people, faith is personal. And it's not like I talk about my faith to other people. Some people are afraid to talk about their faith. They don't know what to say. They're afraid they're going to be met with opposition. They're in situations they don't want to start a fight with other people. Well, let me just tell you about the lives of Peter Julian Eymard, Catherine Drexel, Saint Clare of Assisi, and I could go on and on with many other people. Not only do they have a love and a respect and a reverence for the Eucharist, but they promoted it by everything they said and they did. And they're not afraid to talk about it. You know, it amazes me. People love to talk about what they believe. But why are we afraid to talk about what we believe? Why can't we talk about what we believe? Do we not have the conviction? Maybe we don't have the conviction. And when I say that, the conviction, we're confident. Maybe we're not confident. You know, that's why I say in many of my reflections, you have it. You know it. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You know your faith. You don't have the confidence. Maybe that's it. Or do you have the conviction? Because I think if all of us together had a conviction to promote Mass, the reception of communion, Eucharistic adoration, we will be right with Peter Julian Eymard. But I think we want to say, Peter Julian Eymard, you do it. And then we'll just hide behind it. Yay. But you do it. Well, by virtue of our baptism and confirmation, we are to be a witness to the faith. By virtue of our baptism and confirmation, if we believe what the sacraments do, we are to witness to the faith. When I'm in a situation, and I know you're going to say, well, Father, you're a priest. Well, how about before I was a priest? Do you think, knowing me, do you think I was ever shy, hiding behind something and going, you know? I think we were called, and Christ compels us to go forward. I think we have to have that inside of us, the grace to do it. If not you, who? Really? If not you, who? Don't think it's just going to happen. We see this all around. You know, oh, there's going to be a parish here. Really? Oh, there's going to be a Catholic school. Really? Oh, there's going to be Catholic hospitals. Really? There's going to be priests. Really? There's going to be nuns. Where? Really? Let's not say that. Let's not say that. If not you, who? If Christ calls us to be his disciple, what does that mean? Because I always wonder, if we lived in 30 AD, would you leave and follow Jesus of Nazareth? Be honest. Be honest. Would you leave Judaism and follow Jesus of Nazareth? Hopefully, yes. But I don't know. In the same way, today we're the disciples of Jesus. But do we act like the disciples of Jesus like they did? Do we act like the apostles like they did? Or do we think it'll be fine? Everything will be fine. Somebody will take care of it. I don't have to worry about it. Well, guess what? We do have to do our part. And we should be, as St. Paul says, work with anxious concern. Do we have that kind of concern in our body and soul for the Lord? I think we need to do that. We're all on our pilgrimage, aren't we? The pilgrimage of life. And we need to be fed by God's word and the sacraments, especially the Eucharist. So to be away from Holy Communion would be against the very fabric of Christianity. So when people say, I believe in God, but I don't go to Mass, it doesn't compute with me. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. They're like 1 + 18 = 2. No, it doesn't. That doesn't compute with me. If you want to be a follower of Jesus, you need to receive the Eucharist. If you want to be a follower of Jesus and live his life and have him part of you, you need to receive the Eucharist. And it's not only a reception, because he's living and breathing in you, is part and parcel of your life. St. Peter Julian Eymard absolutely believed that. Promoted the reception of communion, promoted Holy Mass, promoted adoration, promoted Eucharistic congresses. I was telling the people at Mass, when we had the Eucharistic Congress in Philadelphia, remember, August 1st to August 8th, 1976, I just finished 8th grade. I was going into high school that September. Oh my gosh. The Archdiocese of Philadelphia did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. I remember as a kid thinking, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. When did kids talk like that? They did a phenomenal job promoting the Eucharist. I think we need another Eucharistic Congress in the Archdiocese. First of all, it was a Eucharistic Congress for the world, but I think we need one just locally. Do you know we went to Vet Stadium? Remember when Vet Stadium was there? We had Mass in Vet Stadium. We used the Spectrum for conferences. See, I'm telling you. Peter Julian Eymard would be very pleased about the work we're doing with conviction about the Eucharist. Telling people at Mass today, when you receive communion, stay at the altar. Receive Jesus, whether on your tongue, which is beautiful. Jesus is feeding you. Or placing it in your hand as a throne. But you don't move away and walk down the aisle. I mean, you can step aside so the next person can come up. But you stay and eat at the altar. Now, that's no earth-shattering statement I'm making, right? You'd be surprised how many people walk away and take the Eucharist as they're walking away. And I said to the people today, not that they do it consciously, I think it's subconsciously. I think they don't even realize what they're doing. The priest, deacon, or extraordinary minister places the Eucharist reverently in their hand, right? And they just walk away, and as they're walking, they take their bottom hand and continue walking, and they pick the host up in their top hand, and they put it in their mouth as they're walking away down the aisle. If you said to them, oh, you shouldn't do that, they may say to you, seriously, what did I do? Well, you were walking away. No, I didn't. I received it right there. Not really. No, I did. And then if you showed them a camera, they would be like, oh, I didn't even realize what I was doing. I know. It happens. I told them at Mass this morning, we used to receive communion kneeling at the rail. So there was a railing for anybody who's watching that's young. There was a railing at the altar. Everybody just knelt down, and the priest would come and then start over again, and go back again. But you would receive at the altar. See, it was always, it still is. It's always the intention to receive and eat and drink at the altar. Never to remove yourself from it. That's how you say in communion with Christ, because Christ is not only in the of course the sacred host, but symbolically he's part of the sacrifice of the altar. That's why the priest kisses the altar. And do you know that the same material that the altar rail was made out of is the same material as the altar itself? So they always made the altar rail the same. If it was marble, the altar was marble. If it was wood, the altar was wood. Always. The connection. And do you know the plate that the altar servers would use? Do you know where that comes from? The plate of the priest. Always connecting. Ah, beautiful. So when I see people walking away unconsciously, I mean, again, I'm trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Well, maybe they don't even realize it. Well, they walk away and they place, 90% of people, 95, 98% of people do put it in their mouth. You have about 1% or 2% people go back to the pew. And you're like, would you please don't do that? When have we ever in the history of Catholicism do that? The only time it's removed is when we go to the sick. That's the only time we walk, but we put it in a container. That's the only time. And the other time is when we're having processions with Holy Communion, like Corpus Christi or 40 hours. But it's within a container called a monstrance, and there's candles and a canopy. There's a whole ritual for it if it is away from the altar. So I'm just giving you a little bit of Eucharistic theology about Peter Julian Eymard, about his love for the Eucharist, his love for the Mass, his love for the reception of Holy Communion, his love for any devotion to the Holy Communion. and his love for Eucharistic congresses. You know, let's have congresses. Let's teach people. Let's constantly put this out there. Oh, people may say, oh, they heard it 50,000 times. Well, obviously not enough. You know what I mean? They heard it 50,000 times. Well, you know what repetition is? The mother of learning. It's good to say, you know, we need to be a little careful. Well, do you know what we do here at St. Mary's for First Holy Communion? The children kneel and they receive on their tongue. Makes it special. Makes it special for their First Holy Communion. They all wear white. But see, that's a conscious effort to make sure that we understand what we're receiving. It's a big thing. All the sacraments are a big thing, but the Blessed Sacrament, yeah. I think Julian Eymard would say the same thing. We need to just spend a little bit more time with understanding and receiving and promoting the Most Holy Eucharist. Have a nice day, everybody.